It's time now for the WoezorTV report. Let's take a look at the headlines. Now let's begin. President John Dramani Mahama has assured the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs of his government's commitment to ensuring equitable development across the country. Speaking during a courtesy call at the Jubilee House led by Nene Sakite II, President of the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs and Paramount Chief of the Manya Krobo traditional area, the President said government is leveraging renewed investor confidence to expand infrastructure and stimulate economic growth. He announced ongoing efforts to operationalize the newly constructed University of Engineering and Agricultural Sciences at Bonsu, describing it as a key driver of regional development.
Developments that we are doing in terms of infrastructure, and every region is getting its fair share of those infrastructure. The Eastern Regional Hospital stalled a bit. I've asked that the contractor go back to site and we pay him so that we can complete it and have the Eastern Regional Hospital. The other new regions too are going to receive regional hospitals. That is the 6 new regions. We're starting with 3 of their regional hospitals this year, and next year we'll cut short for the next 3 for the new regions. Recently I was in Korea and we discussed the issue of the University of Engineering, Science and Agriculture in Bonsu. And I think that that is an institution that we are activating as quickly as possible so that we can create more room for our young people who are seeking tertiary educational opportunities. But one area of concern is security and conflict. And we realize that a major contributor to conflicts across the country is also the chieftaincy institution and issues of land boundaries. We believe that it's something that we need to work with the National House of Chiefs and the Regional House of Chiefs on. The 1992 Constitution barred government from interfering in chieftaincy matters, and it said that issues of chieftaincy disputes should be handled by the chiefs themselves. But it looks like it is difficult. Government only intervenes when law and order breaks down, but we cannot interfere in the customs and usages of the chieftaincy institution.
And Nene Sakite II congratulated the president on progress made so far, expressing appreciation for ongoing development projects in the region and optimism for stronger collaboration moving forward.
It's made so far under your guidance serve as a testament to your vision and commitment to advancing the welfare of our nation. Over the years, we've been asking the Assembly support to run our traditional councils to strengthen local governance, preserve and facilitate cultural heritage, and enhance community development initiatives. However, nothing has come forth and we are still supposed to deliver to the people in so many ways. Since we are not getting anywhere or any meaningful assistance from the MMDAs, we Nananum are seeking for our own common fund to alleviate the burden of delivery of services to our people. Local government is crucial in our development process, and the common fund for Nananum is appropriate and logical. Finally, we need technical support from government with regards to access to the records of the Stool Land Boundaries Settlement of 1992.
Also, President Mahama noted that Ghana's macroeconomic indicators are showing signs of improvement, citing reduced inflation, currency stability, and improved debt servicing, adding that government remains focused on maintaining fiscal discipline after the successful IMF program. Despite the gains, he acknowledged persistent challenges, particularly youth unemployment, stressing the need for greater private sector partnership and participation and industrial expansion, especially in agriculture.
And we need to prepare for those milestones. One, we're coming out of the IMF program. It's coming to an end. We have the final review coming up by next month. But we intend to, beyond the IMF program, still keep the fiscal discipline that has resulted in the stabilization of the macro economic environment. And then they talked about chieftaincy common fund. Unfortunately, there's no statutory fund like that. We believe that the assemblies should have a little leeway to be able to support our traditional rulers in their districts, using some aspects of the common fund over which they have more discretion. Yeah, but I don't envisage a whole statutory fund, created for the chieftaincy institution. That's why we keep looking at the stipends that we give and increasing them.
And moving on in other stories, the government has approved new visa waiver agreement with 3 countries as part of efforts to enhance the global value of the Ghanaian passport and deepen international mobility. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, announced on Facebook on Wednesday, April 22, that the cabinet had cleared agreements with Antigua, Barbuda, the Maldives, and Zambia, beg your pardon. According to him, the agreements apply to holders of all categories of passports, including ordinary service and diplomatic, allowing citizens of the respective countries to travel without visas for short stays. He indicated that Parliament is expected to ratify the agreement in the coming weeks to pave way for full implementation. And still on foreign affairs, the minister has held urgent diplomatic discussions with his South African counterpart, Ronald Lamola, following viral videos showing disturbing attacks on Ghanaian nationals in South Africa. In a statement, Mr. Ablakwa said the South African government has expressed concern over the situation and assured Ghana of immediate action. Mr. Ablakwa further disclosed that Pretoria is expected to hold a briefing with African ambassadors on Wednesday, April 22, as part of efforts to address concerns raised by affected countries. According to him, diplomatic teams have already traced one of the individuals seen in the viral footage and provided consular assistance. He added that no Ghanaian fatalities have been recorded in connection with the incident and urged the public to remain calm. Now, more than 400 newly certified electricians have been recognized in Accra at the 24th Electrical Wiring Certificates Awards following their success in the National Electrical Wiring Certification Examination. The Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opariado, reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to skills development and youth employment during the ceremony. Raya Samoa has more in this report.
128 candidates graduated after successfully passing the National Electrical Wiring Certification examination, part of efforts to ensure only qualified professionals handle electrical installations across the country. The program, backed by the Energy Commission, continues to play a key role in reducing electrical-related fires and promoting safety standards nationwide. Speaking at the event, Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Opariado, emphasized the importance of equipping young people with employable skills.
Every certified electrician who walks out of this program carries with them not just a skill, but the responsibility to ensure that homes, businesses, and institutions they wire are safe. In a country where electrical faults remain among the leading causes of fire-related deaths and property loss, that responsibility is not ceremonial. It is life-saving.
Board Chairman of the Energy Commission, Professor John Gachi, called for continuous adherence to safety standards and professional excellence.
Remains critical because it affects our homes, industries, workplaces, infrastructure, and communities. As such, efficiency, safety, and professionalism in this field are non-negotiable.
The Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission, Adra Sewa Bonde, underscored the significance of certification in safeguarding lives and properties. She said efforts are also underway to formalize apprenticeship training and increase female participation in the sector.
It's a profession that many believe should be for men. So there's the stigma attached, and then, we all know the problems that women face in certain professions. So it's not just one thing that led to some of them dropping out, but we have the database, and I've taken a personal pledge to reach out and ensure that those who registered and could not complete would get them the needed support to be able to resit and then complete the program.
The Electrical Wiring Certification Program, now in its 24th year, has certified over 18,000 practitioners, contributing significantly to national safety and development. For WoezorTV, Rachel Asamoah.
Now, the Ghana Maritime Authority has dismissed claims by Akuapem Northern P. Sammy Ewuku, stating that the vessel MV Sankofa is not registered in Ghana and has no current link to the country. In a statement, the authority explained that the ship was removed from Ghana's registry in April 2024, while another vessel with the same name had earlier been deregistered in 2021. It stressed that no vessel named MV Sankofa is currently operating under the Ghanaian flag. The GMA also revealed that the vessel was intercepted by the Ghana Navy in July 2025 and later flagged by Senegalese authority in March 2026 over suspected drug trafficking. Ghana clarified that it had no connection to the ship, which is found to be operating under the Cameroonian flag. And now to other stories. Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namomolate, has affirmed that all outstanding arrears owed to caterers under the Ghana School Feeding Program have been fully settled, bringing relief to operators across the country. She described the program as a critical social intervention that continues to support school children and vulnerable families by providing nutrition and encouraging school attendance. Dr. Latte made the announcements during a public engagement in Tamale as part of the Resetting Ghana tour.
One other significant social protection intervention is the school feeding program. When we came, there were arrears, and this one, you need no telling. We all saw the uproar in the country where caterers were demonstrating everywhere for payment. It is good news and refreshing for the people of the northern region to know that every single caterer that had not been paid have been paid up to date. The only arrears we will have, which is not an arrears, the school feeding has been paid on time, and all the new caterers can tell you, and every single caterer everywhere can attest to the fact that they received their payment on time. The other one we are waiting for is those who the term that just ended. And for that one, the data will be processed. We are working as charged by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to improve the system so that data collection and processing can be faster and people will be able to receive, that is the caterers, receive their payment right at the end of the term. Let me also take the opportunity on behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the ministry to appreciate every caterer for their patience, and then also appreciate the coordinators and managers of the program, that because of their diligence, we are able to deliver on the promise of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I will say that it is not just an improvement, but also we have been able to look at the quality of food being served and make sure that the nutritional value is not lost out in the course of enrolling this out.
Now, Ghana is stepping up efforts to eliminate malaria as the country prepares to mark the World Malaria Day 2026 at a media conference in Accra. The Ghana Health Service highlighted substantive gains made in reducing cases and deaths, but warned that sustained action, stronger partnerships, and public commitments are needed to tackle the disease, which continues to affect children under 5 and pregnant women. Ellen Frimpong has more.
Authorities are ramping up efforts to eliminate malaria as the country prepares to mark World Malaria Day 2026. At a press briefing ahead of the commemoration, the Ghana Health Service reaffirmed that while significant progress has been made in reducing malaria cases and deaths, the disease remains a major public health threat, particularly among children under 5 and pregnant women. Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Esiedu-Bequin, said Ghana now has the tools and knowledge to end malaria, but sustained commitment and collective action are critical.
Achieving malaria elimination requires investment from all sectors of our economy and society. While government and development partners have been instrumental in our progress, we must increasingly mobilize domestic resources and engage the private sector. Ending malaria is within our reach. Now is the time to act decisively. Now is the time to intensify our efforts. And now is the time to ensure that no Ghanaian dies from preventable and treatable disease like malaria.
Health officials point to ongoing interventions, including insecticide-treated nets, indoor spraying, seasonal prevention, and increased community engagement as key to the progress recorded so far. However, the National Malaria Elimination Program warns that declining donor support poses a serious risk to these gains.
We have all the tools available to eliminate malaria. This is the time to do it. Unfortunately, we have a very big challenge of reducing resources, from our external partners. But we see this as an opportunity for us to own it as a country, invest in it. And for us to do that, it's not just about the government. We need the private sector to also come on board. And of course, for all the other stakeholders in Ghana, what we are saying is that malaria elimination is only possible if we own it as communities, as journalists, as individuals in our homes.
Authorities are urging the public to take personal responsibility by eliminating mosquito breeding sites, seeking early testing and treatment, and consistently using treated nets. This year's World Malaria Day will be marked under the theme, Driven to End Malaria, Now We Can, Now We Must. For WoezorTV, Ellen Frimpong.
Time now for some international news. Now, Iran's top negotiator says it's not possible to reopen the Strait of Hormuz due to blatant violations of the U.S.-Iran ceasefire. Those violations include the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports and warmongering by Israel on all fronts. Earlier, Iran seized 2 cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz after Donald Trump extended the U.S.-Iran ceasefire. While extending the ceasefire, Trump also said that the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports would continue. Talks between U.S. and Iran are due to resume in Pakistan this week, but are yet to start. The Strait of Hormuz is now too dangerous for all but a trickle of traffic, deeply damaging both Iran and the global economy. And that will be all for the WoezorTV news reports today. I am Karen Oyukwoti. Many thanks for staying with us.